independent Jamberry consultant at your service. Today I'm going to run through some application techniques with you. We're going to skip sort of halfway through. We're not going to do the prep today because, as you can see, I've already got some polish on. Because we're going to be applying these clear wraps. Now, if you're part of my VIP group, or you'd see me on Facebook or Instagram, you will know that I love the clear wraps. And one of the reasons that I love them is that you can put a purple polish or a red polish or whatever, and you've got a totally different manicure. I've already used a couple of these ones, as you can see, and I used them over a red polish, and it was one of my favourites. I do love a red polish. So today we're going to do it over a lilac polish and see how that turns out. So I'm going to assume that we've done all our cuticle work, we've filed and whatnot. I polished these yesterday. If you are going to put a clear wrap over polish, don't do it straight away. The wrap's still the polish. If the polish is still a little bit wet or a little bit warm, the wrap just won't take quite as well. So it is a bit of a two-step process, but if you can, just leave it a few hours. Like I say, I've done these ones yesterday, so I need to get these wraps on now before they start chipping. So what we are going to do before we do anything else is prep the polish. So I've got our little alcohol wipes. I've got a little pile of them here. You can never do it too much. I'm going to start with my middle finger here, so I'm just going to give it a little wipe. Now, sometimes I buff the polish, sometimes I don't. I don't know. I'm not going to buff today. I'm just going to leave it as it is. So, I'm going to switch my heater on so it can be warming up. So, as I'm sure you'll know, sizing is super important. Always making sure that you're testing out the different wrap sizes against the fingernail that you are wanting to do. And of course, what you are looking for? Slither. Don't fear the gap down each side of your nail. If you put your wrap right up to the side of your finger, it will lift. It does not like skin. So get that gap in, get that gap. And if that means just trimming a little tiny piece, a millimetre off each side of the wrap, do that. Trim the wrap and then you'll get a much better finish, and it just looks much nicer. I have seen wraps that have been jammed right up to the sides, and they're just not as pretty as they can be. So I know that for my middle finger, I need this 1, 2, 3 wrap there. So I'm just gonna go for it. So I'm gonna use my metal spoon. We've got an orange stick, something so that, don't forget, you are not touching the back of the wrap. If we get any sort of dust or oils on there, again, that's going to affect the quality. So just try and be as careful as you can be. So I've got some scissors. I'm going to just chop. Can you see that? Chop that wrap in half, like that. Oh, lost that. And then I'm going to pick it back up again with my metal spoon, my metal implement, if it'll come off. Can you see? Just lift it off. So there we go. So it's on my spoon. I've not touched the back at all. It is completely oil and dust free. So I'm just, another thing with these clear wraps, they take like hardly any time at all to heat up and be ready. So I'm just going to hold it in front of the heater for 1, 2, and that's it. They're done. And that is it. So are we ready? I'll make it so that you can see properly. Oh, now this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to put that right in the middle there. Can you see? Perfect. And then I'm going to use my thumb to tap it down at the bottom, run it all the way to the top, and then go over the sides. Like so. Okay. I'm just going to heat it up again, and then repeat the process. So I'm really making sure that the wrap is stuck down at the edges, because if it's going to lift anywhere, it's going to be the edges. So I'm just going to make sure, just give that a really good wipe around, use my thumb. make sure it's stuck at the top. Okay, and then I'm going to leave it. You don't want to file too soon. If you file a warm wrap, it's just going to pull, it's going to snag, it's not going to do what you want it to do. So you just want to leave it, move on, do another finger. So I'm not going to do another finger just now, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this one using a different technique. But what I am going to show you is a little trick. With a spoon pusher, heat it up. It wants to be fairly warm, but not so hot as that you can touch it. If it's hot that you can't touch it, it's too hot. It's going to melt the wrap. Just a little bit more. That's probably about right. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull that around the edges of the wrap just to super seal those edges. And if there's any lumps or bumps in the edges, that's going to just massage them away really nicely. Okay, I'm just going to do that again. There we go. So I've got a little teeny tiny bump there. Just going to hold it over and see, that's all but gone. Okay, so I think we're probably ready to file. Now, this is my go-to file. It's old, it's worn, but for me, it works. I've got other files on hand just in case. I've got my Jamberry file, which is newer and a little bit more gritty. I've got my Jamberry glass file, which again is good for different types of finishes of the wraps, or sometimes if you've got longer nails. You've just got to have a little play, have a little play, have a little play. It's all about experimenting. So, are we ready? 90 degrees, filing down, not up. If I'm filing up, then I'm lifting the wrap up. I'm pulling it off my nail, and I'm going to be getting some filey things into the adhesive. So down, 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 not across for the same reason. We're ready. And there we go, it's off. Give that a little rub, have a little look at it. And there we go, spot on. So there you go, so that is pretty much the recommended Jamberry way. And if you've got sort of fairly standard nails, you've got no real issues with it, that is the technique that I would start with. If you find that that technique doesn't work for you, then try some different ones. I'm going to do some different videos, so keep an eye out, or come back to me and let's chat it out. So I hope that's been helpful. I went on a little bit longer than I intended, so I do apologise. But I hope that's been helpful. If you have any more questions, just fire them over to me, either here or on our Facebook page. I would love to chat jams with you. If you don't have a personal consultant, get in touch. I would love to be your personal consultant. If you've got any questions about joining Jamberry as an organisation, again, get in touch. I am here for you. Okay, right. Thank you very much then. Bye.